Welcome back to the channel. Auto Andy here. We got a 2018 Chevy Equinox, my wife's vehicle. Um, I noticed when she came home last Friday, I know it's almost a week, but between working and our schedules, I haven't had a chance to actually take a look at it. I know it's brakes, squeaking, still a little bit pad left on them. They're not metal to metal, at least on this side. I don't know about the other side. Let's hope not. So I'm gonna go kind of back to my my roots from the way I started working on cars without any power tools or any of that stuff. So I couldn't find my four-way, and my old truck here has got the factory Chrysler stamp. I guess you'd call it breaker bar doodad. It's got the ratcheting branch on it. So still have this. I do have the factory jack to it, but that doesn't matter. It's cool to still have this thing. You know what they say, they don't make them like they used to, and that's for damn sure. Anyways, so we're gonna get started on this truck or this car. The front brakes. It's a 1.5 liter turbo. I think that's what this is. I'm not 100% sure. There's like 4 different motors for this freaking car. Hopefully, there's not like 10 million brake pads like there is for Ford. I mean, I used to work at a parts house, and I tell you what, a guy would come in for like a Ford just pickup or Mustang or something. There'd be, I don't know why, but there would be literally 10 different sets of pads for that one vehicle. I mean, you had to know like pretty much the VIN number. Even then, it was still like, oh, that's the wrong pad. And so this is kind of budget friendly brake change. Spend under $100. Downside is I could spend $200, well, $215-ish with tax and everything, with new rotors and pads, which is not a bad deal. Still expensive. The other alternative is a place up the road. I ain't gonna say the name. I used to work for them, but what, $400, or pretty much. No, it's about three something. So I don't know how O'Reilly's got their stuff cheaper, but that's who I'm going with. 28 bucks for the pads and $30 to get the rotors turned per side. I think a little over 90 bucks. I'm okay with that. Alright, so let's get into it. Let's break these free. Hopefully we don't have any issues. I think this is the right socket. It fits on there. There's really no play in it. And it's the same amount of play that's on the factory stuff for this truck. And these are new lug nuts, so. And let's see what happens, I guess. So with the car, the lug nuts broke loose. The emergency brake is on, and the wheels are chocked. So now we can jack up the car and put our jack stands underneath there and be safe. Always use the proper lifting technique, for not only for yourself but for the vehicle you're working on. Because I tell you what, I've had close calls with scissor jacks. Don't recommend using that to do any mechanical work. For just changing the tires, one thing, but working on it, like pulling axles or doing a brake job, not a good idea. I've almost had my legs crushed from multiple cars because the scissor jacks would fail. They're only designed to lift the weight temporarily, especially older ones. So if you got a scissor jack and you're planning on doing brakes, I recommend just going to buy you a little cheap one from Walmart or the parts store, or ringing a buddy and asking to borrow theirs for a case of beer or something. Safety first. Like I said, I've had close calls. So let's see. That's lovely. Now trying to find a secure spot to lift from. There is a subframe, or your core support, subframe, whatever. You can lift from. I'm not worried about the plastic underneath, but there is mounting points. I think there's 2 per side, and that would be typically where you would want to mount your scissor jack. And also, if you don't know, read your manufacturer's booklet. So we got lift off. A little overkill with the jack stands, but you can't put a price on safety, or, you know, the higher the better without having to raise this up. So that's where I kind of look into doing. Let's see here. It's so hard to find a point. Alright, so we can probably go up just a hair. Get underneath that. Just enough to have some support. This is, you know, you can move it around. So you can shake this. It's not going anywhere. It's on there supported. Is it the greatest? Probably not. Is it gonna work? Yeah. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's lifted up on the jack stands, high enough for me. That's all I need. Alright, let's go ahead and take this wheel off. So once you have your tires off and your vehicle suspended, said that backwards, but you're going to remove your caliper and your caliper bracket. These are 1-piston calipers. I hope to God they're not twisting. Most newer manufacturers, all their calipers are twisting, which I think is the stupidest thing ever, but you know. Yep. So 14 is going to be your slide bolt, or whatever you want to call it, guide pin. 14, well, at least that's what this broke free on. It could be ½ inch. Take those out, you set them to the side, don't lose them. Now if you're just changing pads, this is the only thing you'll have to remove. And You want to come in here without damaging your piston and release some tension off your, let's see here what I'm looking at. Well, there you go. So you press in inside the fin of the rotor. You don't want to press in on the caliper, the piston side, because you'll damage it. They're made out of like some type of ceramic, whatever doodad. And if you don't have, where'd it go? And if you don't have, you know, proper hooks, zip ties will work. They probably work the best. But if you don't have that either, and you got bungee cords, do this, or get you a co-hanger. I've used co-hangers before, and you do not want this hanging by the brake hose, because that is no bueno. I was gonna order some, but so while we're here, I think your new ones will get 2 new of these doodads here. You just pop these out. So if you don't have new ones, they just kind of hook underneath here, like so. And that's how it keeps, I guess, tension off the rotor. I'm not 100% sure why manufacturers do that, or if it's something factory related. But I always put them back on. You know, as far as helping get down the assembly line. So, pull your pad out. Remember how they go in. Depending on what brand you get, or quality, I guess. These are the factory pads. They've definitely seen some better days. We'll do some comparison when we get new ones put on. But this rotor don't look too terrible. It could probably be turned. There's some little grooves in it. Probably a piece of rock or something on it. This is all factory stuff. Check your hub out. Make sure there's no play in it. Just kind of put your eyeballs on everything. Make sure nothing looks abnormal, suspicious like. Just make sure nothing has a lot of play in it. Grease slung anywhere. Just kind of take a glance, take a second to gander at your stuff here. We're gonna go ahead and there's tools out here to make this easier, but this one's cheaper, gets the job done, and this has got many uses other than one. I've used this for holding stuff together, making something, like I do like fabricating or anything, because I don't. But it's better if you get the proper tool. The proper tool I did have, it broke. You know, imagine that. So you just push that in. It's hard if you can't see, I'm sorry. But you want your pad to be, or your caliper to be pushed back in, so it's good. So when you put everything back together, it fits up nicely. And you just so the fact that she get 70,000 out of this, the factory pads, is pretty good. Just do a look once over on your caliper and make sure it's not leaking anywhere. It looks good. Little surface rust, but it's typical. I mean, the coatings they use on this, the stuff now these days is cheap. I'm going to try to find my zip ties because I don't have another hanger. I mean, I do somewhere, I just don't know where it is. And I like to zip tie these up out of the way. But we're gonna do something here real quick. Make this a little better. There we go. That's out of the way. There's no tension on that, so it's tucked out of the way. Let's find our. It's probably gonna be. It might be a 21. Am I right? Not too big. I was kind of hoping it was that, so I pull up another box. I doubt it's a 17. Nope, it's too small. It's gonna probably be something I don't have. Let's see here, 19. So I got a 19 6-point. Yes, I do. Just trying to make it oh, like I said, it's probably, I don't know, it's 12 points, so probably 20. What? Huh. Surely it's not a 3/8. Fits on there very loosely. And this is going to be a 13/16. So, being weird, these, you know, I'll look at the torque specs for you guys. That way, if you need them, you got them. Well, sometimes you got big guns, and that's okay. And I probably don't have a 6-point, a 13/16, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine. And of course, that's gonna be my way. Never fixed. Still gonna be my way. Alright, cool. And yeah, it's how it usually is, you know. Having no leverage is awesome. Sometimes you gotta break out the seated bar. I've actually looked in my box, I'd be able to find what I was looking for. But if you got one of these, it goes a long way as far as getting. So you just like so. These are probably like 120 something, 30 something. As far as torque specs. I'm not a, master mechanic by any means, but I do everything solely by myself. I'm not trained or anything, or have special, of course, well, it's not the one I need. But we are gonna improvise here. So we can go use this, and we go to our other doodad. And should be able to achieve the same thing. Just kind of make sure you're not running off your nut or your bolt. like I said, this stuff is all factory, so things are going to be in the way, and that's okay. You gotta just improvise, make it work. And y'all probably can't see nothing. It's okay too. So just take a once over. We are almost pretty much on this side to the squeaker. You don't want to. Yeah, see, we had like a little debris or something come into our pad here. I'll show you guys as soon as I get this freaking thing out. Oh, she's in there. Oh man. Alright. Well, you definitely want to grease that. I got plenty of that. So we got some type of debris, something in there, and it just kind of, I don't think there's nothing wrong with the rotor. I think they'll be able to turn it, no problem. Like I said, if I gotta put new ones on, I gotta put new ones on. It is what it is. Life will throw curveballs at you more than you would like, and that's okay, because life is not full of unicorns. Okay, you do have a, I'm not really sure what bit that is. Let's see here. So star bit. I got one of those somewhere. Grab that. All that is just to cure the. A lot of people, shops and stuff, will just get a drill bit and just be done with it. So I'm gonna grab a star bit. I got a bunch of those. If you can reuse it, reuse it. If you can't, like as far as, you know, stuff that made things for the factory easier. Like this little thing. It's probably not the right bit, and this thing is probably dead, if I had to guess. And that's okay, because you know why? Yeah, it's probably the right bit right here. That seems like more it. Yeah, I had the right bit first time. So, get your quarter, and you get your quarter. You'll know that your quarter. Whatever that size will be. Get the old 180 tooth out. And you just, yep. We might have to drill this puppy out, because this thing ain't coming out. I think sometimes these things are designed to be drilled out, sometimes they're not. Yep. She's just turning. Awesome. And my drill is dead. So we are screwed. Like I said, I was going to use and try not to use any power tools, but a little bit of a time crunch because the gentleman that turns the rotors is leaving very soon, and I'm trying to get in. Probably can't see nothing as per usual. So we're trying to Huh. Where does that say? Hurry up. Ah, GM card. American made card, huh? Brake hose is made in Korea. How about that? GM, you got some explaining to do. Why are cars that are supposed to be made here in the USG? Why do they got Korean parts? Not using the tools that I need. 'Cause I'm too lazy and I forget everything. You know, you figure after getting up so many damn times, I would actually get up and this kid, she's good. So I'll take this off and we can go ahead and pull a little safety pins. Don't lose these because I've lost one before, and I tell you what, these honestly just really help pads. It's in there, I think. Fish it out, stick it in there, pull one of your pads out. Yep, you slap it in there. Yeah. Do the same thing. Oh yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Yeah, and there you go. And you start tightening her up. You just want to make this easier on yourself. So when you put things back together, makes it breezier. Breezy. Alright. Learned this trick from my dad. Yeah. This thing here. Obviously he's got better C-clamps. Yep, that's not what we're supposed to do. Hey, but we're gonna do it anyways. Cause who needs that? I mean, these pads are rough. Super rough. Slide it on there. You know, doing this YouTube thing, it's really fun, but I got people at work that are excited that I uploaded this past week, and quite frankly, that just made me motivated because, you know, with people that are by your side, you're more able to get stuff done and be proactive on what you want to do. I think that's gonna be good. Let's take a look at her. Yep, you have to make a lot of noise. Okay. Same thing. We're just gonna loop this up here. This one's shorter, I think. It's out of the way. It's resting on this bracket too. It's fine. It's good. However, I broke these free where I got y'all over here to take a look-see. Again, put your eyeballs. And of course, you know, I did not do the one thing I was wanting to do while doing this side. Put that damn grill on charge. Great. Yeah. Ooh, this one. Ooh. I don't think we're able to save this one, Cap. This one's RUFF. Ah, I want shot. Great. This one is definitely middle to middle. But that's okay. Golly, it definitely was not retaining itself back in the. And of course, thank you for me not bringing anything in. There we go, breaking it free, baby. I might have to put some new pads on her, or new rotors. I think they're just too far gone. Yep, she's out. All right. Whew. So, the fact that these just now started squeaking like a week ago, you'd never want. I mean, where's this other pad at? I'll show you when we get new ones. But there's like barely no material there, and obviously you can see this is the stopping power. This is this metal to metal, essentially. I mean, there's still a little material left, but obviously there's some corrosion or some. The fact that we got, I think this car's got closest 80 than it does 70, to be honest. So, our squeaker, see that shiny? Pretty sure it's not supposed to be shiny. But I'm glad I did pull this out. My wife wasn't that happy about me doing this today because I've been outside all day mowing and cleaning the yard and making it look pretty. Because essentially it's probably my last mow of the season, hopefully. Never thought I'd say that because I was excited when I started mowing when I moved here, but after not having time to do nothing in the house, yeah. So I think, I don't think I'm going to be able to save this one. The other one, maybe. This one, probably not. Let's see here. Can we get that one? Where is that? I definitely need a drill and such, so. But, can we essentially break this thing free? Yep. Nope. This baby is stuck like Chuck. Guess what, guys? Our drill is just not plugged in, and I don't have other. Of course, you know, over time, these little cheap bolts that they slap in these things. So I could find my PB blaster. Who am I kidding? That is probably lost and never to be found. Yeah. Every time I start working on the garage, I get kind of distracted. And, well, in order to put stuff away inside the house, you gotta have room inside the house, put stuff away, and the motivation to do laundry and everything else, and take care of kids and such. But, you know, I could bring out the torch and heat this puppy up. Could do that, but then again, it would get too hot, and yeah. I'd just be easier drilling it out. Let me tell you guys, I've had disassembled the front calipers I took the brackets off and hung the calipers in little to no time. I mean, other than I'm struggling to break the bolts free with the little. I'm trying to run back and forth and get tools. And now here it is, almost 7. Oh, it's after 6. And I finally got the rotors off. And I started this at like 2:30. Now I don't know where this tool is I need. There it is. So, shout out to my wife's papa for coming in clutch and bringing his drill to me so I can use it. I got too much crap everywhere. I don't even know what that. Oh, it's my tap set. Well, where is that tool? Huh. Well, that's not good. Tool was in there when I put it up. Now it's not. So, like I said, it took me several hours to drill this whole rotors off. I mean, I did stop and I had to run with a post for free tires. Of course, you know, it's usually just someone trying to get rid of trash. But as you can tell by the rotors, to the driver's side, and she is pitted pretty bad. I mean, let me take a show you. So with all that crud in there, we're just gonna order new ones. I've already placed the order on one, so I was gonna order some from O'Reilly's, but they got them in stock and stuff. But I don't really feel like spending $200 on stuff I can get for, you know, half the price. So of course these are more expensive rotors. They're 300 millimeter rotors. If you got a 321, they were cheaper. They were $99. And then if you got a 300 millimeter like diameter rotor, it was $333 plus tax. Or sorry, $133 plus tax. So I was like, yeah, I'll just spend for power stops. I mean, they're not like drill and slotted, but I'll spend like 140 something, 150, and get the same thing. And I mean, granted, I have to wait like 2 days. That's fine. My wife, obviously, we're dropping our kid off in the morning, so we go to work, and she'll just go get him. She hates driving the truck, but oh well. So I'll follow up with you guys Saturday evening, probably Saturday evening, and we'll work through the tonight to get this done. I guess I would just run up there and go get it, but it's already late. It's dark. So yeah, if you're gonna do these in a factory setup, go ahead and just get a drill and drill those out, or have it on standby if you can't get them break free. PB blast it for like 2 days prior, if that can save you. Actually drilled the wrong hole, but it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna file it down, clean it up a little bit, make it look a little better. I ended up having to use the cutoff to. That's what was left of me drilling it out, but I used the cutoff So this is the driver's side pad. As you can see, it's dug into the rotor. Really shiny, like I was showing you all earlier. And that other one's right here. As you can see, that's what it's supposed to look like. I mean, this is the passenger side, driver's side. So we got new ones coming. Granted, I gotta work 12 hours, but I'd rather save some money. Granted, it'll be up on Jack Stands for 2 days, but it'll give me time to get the parts and whatnot. So I'll see you guys when we get the parts and I get off of work Saturday. Hopefully it's not cold or rainy, but we'll see. So see you in hopefully in a day or two. So it is a couple days later, and I didn't feel like spending $200 something for some cheapy brakes. So I bought these online. Took 2 days to get here. I've been working the last 2 days, and it's been hell the last 2 days at work. So yeah. If you happen to get the drill and slot rotors, be very mindful of what side you put on. They usually have a sticker or some type of orientation of, because they are directional. These are not drill and slotted. They're just regular power stop standard brakes. However, we did get where I start putting things together. Okay, so these look right, and make sure our pads look right, because one downside of ordering stuff offline is these were packaged actually a month ago, so these are new and fresh. Last time I got brakes and stuff, they were like freaking 6-7 months. They look like the brakes. Do a little comparison. You guys did not see earlier, what, a couple days ago. Here I'm pulling crap out. So this is what I pulled off, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Granted, these are bigger pads, but, and even this side, I mean, you can see the clear difference. I mean, this one still had a little life in it, not much, but a little life. But you can obviously see the difference there. The thickness of the pads. So this one will go on the front, and your squeaker will go on the back. And if you don't know, so your piston ring, the outline of the piston on the caliper will be on the pad. So this one's always got the squeaker on it. Mine, I never put them on because, well, quite frankly, I don't care enough for it, because I probably waste more pads than I actually care to save. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox these real quick. And I do notice on these rotors, well, at least on drill and slotted, they're not freaking covered in oil. They are like a zinc coating, and this one's got some oil on it. But the ones you get at the parts house that are non-power stop, they are covered. Now you want to verify. Do a little comparison here. Line them up. Make sure everything seems alright. They're the right size. Line up your holes too. Make sure your holes line up. They look pretty good as far as what I can see. Yep, they're same rotors. So I'm a little out of breath there. Just like I said, I just got home from work. So new brakes. Slap them on like so. Good. And obviously having that set screw or whatever be ideal if you're one of those guys that like to keep the factory look to them. These should have a grease pack on. These do not. So you just give them a little tap in there. Should hold in place. The center one, I hate doing these new ones because sometimes they're just a little wonky. And I mean, hell, the old ones don't sit in there well either. So this one's got a little bend to it. Maybe it's just missing a piece. I don't know. Okay. Well, I don't know why they're like that. They got this little divot. I don't think it matters, to be honest. Some people don't replace them. I mean, if you got them, might as well. And they are a pain in the ass, especially if they're factory ones. My wife asked me how long it's going to take to get it done. Well, I told her not long the other day. Just long enough to get me, well, probably didn't help. I got water behind it when I was cleaning these up last night. And then you want to check make sure that's good too. So we might pull these out too and put a little dab of grease on them. Doesn't hurt. Just keeps everything lubed up nice and tight. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure that's good. Just set it over, I get it.
Coffee table.
Did you know?
I got that little pink bucket that we had taken to Michigan in the car and put like all the nose spray, the suckers, all that stuff in there. And just put it there so that it can be like Briar's thick bucket.
Okay. A little dab of grease.
What?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing. Just kind of help keep things from seizing up on you. If you got anti-seize, that's pretty good too. but I'm gonna get this other one done, and just be careful not to bust your boot. It's there to protect it. And if you have the option, well, make sure I didn't jinx myself here. Like I said, if you have the option to get new ones, and I should have just got new ones, do so, especially if they're 70, 80,000 on the pad. There we go. Well, that's gonna seal. It's gonna be all right, I think. Quite honestly, I don't know. Let's get all this corrosion out of here. Probably help. All this gunk. Should feel better now. Alright. We're gonna do the same on the other side. I don't really want to pull it apart, but this one's not as bad. It's still got a lot of grease on it. So we're good on this side. The other side, I'm just rough. So we'll get all this debris out. Alright, back in business. Just kind of check her out, make sure she looks good. Now you just take a little dab of grease and you put it inside here. Just a dab. Just enough to get it to slide a little bit better. And then you take your pads. Your front pad. I mean, you can do it either on or off the car. See which way it says. And they're kind of pain in the butt too to get set in. But once you get the first one in, you should be able to maneuver the second one. And y'all have a dog that just won't stop barking. Mine, that's all she does is bark. I love her to death, but golly. Alright, so that one's in. Remember, your squeaker is on the back. Or at least mine was. I think that's how they did it in a factory. So, I'm sure y'all can see a lot going on right now. But this helps keep tension on the pad. There we go. Alright, so it's good. They're in there pretty good. And when you get your these on here, kind of look back here. This one's in. You can put some thread lock on this if you really want it to. I don't think it's necessarily necessary to do so. So once you get that, put your little doodads in. Like that. These things are a little tricky, but they're fairly simple. If you lost these, and well, or threw them away, probably go get them. They help out a lot. So we'll get this thing here tightened. Find our socket. Probably not on my little tray. Probably not. Okay. I think this is it. So we'll go ahead and get this thing down. See, it should not be that hard to. She's got a little corrosion in there too. Okay. There's so much crud in here. It's just I think it's a lot better. There's still some crud in there, but I think we'll be alright. Alright. I guess I should have took time and prepared this so that way. Oh yeah, she's threaded in a lot better. Sort of. So it's going in a lot better, I think. So this one I think goes all the way in. Yeah, no problem. But this one is just fine. I still couldn't think of it. Bench grinder. Is that what it is? There was so much. Like the amount of dust that just came out of that one is crazy. Sometimes you just gotta clean them out, folks. And if you got a tap, it'll fit. Just run your tap in there. I ain't gonna hurt it, but clean the threads. I got a tap, but I'm too lazy for that crap. Alright, try this again. I don't know what my dog is barking at. So I already got everything on. Got the caliper bolts cleaned out this time. Just put in, ready to go. I had to pull both these out. These needed grease really bad. If you have the option to get new ones, or you can probably get new ones at your local parts house maybe, but I know Power Stop sells them with it comes with standard with the drill and slot at Rotors. If you do go that option, I chose not to. Like I said, this video was supposed to be cheap. You know, how cheap can you do it? But sometimes it's good to have new stuff. So everything's all fresh, new, ready to go. So I did, like I said, I did clean the bolts. That I don't know where they're at. That's great. Just because of the issues I was running into with my drill, my little cheap Hyper Tough. I did try to clean that suspension up a little bit, kind of make it look better, but you know, minimum daylight. It's dark out. Alright, again, I haven't changed this. I did look up, it's on your caliper pins. It is your guide pins, whatever you want to call them. It's 22 foot-pounds. So, I mean, I'll show you guys. I'll torque them for y'all. Like I said, I do 2 clicker. And just to verify, it's still on 140. This one wasn't tight, the bottom wasn't. Alright, so alright, there's that. A little winded. Take a little safety mechanism thing. Zip ties works pretty good. You got some really good zip ties. Because again, that's just water. I cleaned it up last night. Slide that in. Make sure it's good. Boom, bada bing. This side obviously will go a lot easier when you realize you need to clean your hardware. Again, you just boop, 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 boop. Make sure we're good. We're not bent, twist, or cockeyed. Again, this one has an R for right side. And then obviously it's still a jam. Leader valve is up. 14 millimeter. So I'll show you the proper procedures of decompressing your calipers correctly. And if you just want to get any loose contaminants, you can do so. A little overkill, but I'll do the same on the other side. So on here, you just take these off, but we got the wheels kind of cleaned up the other night, last night as well. And the car's gonna look weird, but fresh brakes, fresh wheels, fresh clean wheels, you know. And you just line her up. Struggled for a second. So she will spin. We'll get her tightened down. So on the forums it says 100 foot-pounds. Well, whether if that's accurate or not, that's what we're going with. Again, she's tightened up. And I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. We're just gonna get it tightened down until we can get the wheel down, or the car down. Alright, this side's not torqued down, but it is. Struggle on that one. And if you got any bad lug nuts, just go ahead and replace them. They're a few bucks at the parts store. If you're cheap like me, just order them online. Or if you know someone at the dealer and you just want to stay factory, just go to the dealer and get some. You'll spend a lot more at the dealer, I guarantee it. But at least they're gonna be right. All right, I think we're good. So we'll grab our jack handle, sure it's tight. Go to Caliper to the floor. Torque here. Alright, so excuse the mess in here. Before you ever start it, just kind of give her a couple pumps. That's your brake pad, calipers. Do the work. And if you got electronic parking brake, remove it, take that off. You gotta set your so brakes are done. Hey, I don't hear any abnormal noises in the typical, just slight, not really rubbing against the rotor, but you got a little bit of, I guess grinding, not really grinding. I don't know how to explain it. Just like your shoes on the rear drum, on like your emergency brake side, they kind of ride along the inside of the drum. So when you apply pressure, there's not a gap. So the same thing you'll typically hear. It's ever so faint. It's not even like really noticeable. It's just typical. You'll hear more road noise than you'll hear anything. There was nothing like any vibrations. And I drove it around the block twice and didn't really get on the brakes, but you got to set them in. And it's going to be hard because I love my wife, but she's from Ohio. And Ohio people can't drive. That's the truth. I'm no better, but man, I ruined these glasses, man. Anyways, so she has dialed in these. There'll be probably some brake dust and stuff tomorrow. Her driving around, but there's none of your typical factory finish. But I don't smell any brakes, like something's hung up anywhere. They look pretty good. They're not abnormal. They're seated the way they're supposed to be. Obviously, having the wheels off and taking a look at everything. A little toasty, but obviously she'll set in, and all the like factory coatings and stuff will bake off typically when it gets hot. But she looks good. She feels good. Feels great. Obviously this wheel came out really nice, clean, other than some scuffs here and there from Gerb. So I'll put a link in the description off the brakes I ordered. Put a link in the description for the brakes I ordered offline. And you can get, I'll even put one tool that I was going to purchase. I'll put it in the description as well. And it's got little hangers, caliper, where you press in the piston for more content or more more info. Or if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your thoughts are. I'm not an expert. Like I said, I do this solely because I can't afford to pay someone else to do it. What?
Are you almost done?
Yes, I'm done.
Yeah, I almost burnt the bacon. I didn't hear the timer go off, and I was just sitting here. I was like, "Wow, it's been a lot longer than 14 minutes."
Wow. Car's good.
Okay.
Feels good. Just don't power on the brakes. I'm so keeping that. So, like I said, feels great. I'll put a link in the description of the pads, rotors, and stuff that I got offline from Power Stop. You can probably go to their website. You might be able to get it cheaper. I don't know. Just clean your hardware. If you're reusing, like, obviously I hope you would reuse your caliper bracket bolts. But if you're planning on getting new lug nuts, get them ahead of time. Get everything ahead of time. Don't be like me, wait till the last minute when you do it. The original intent for this video was supposed to be getting some cheap pads, cheap, under $100, getting the brake pads done. Now I got to retitle this video because I spent like $170 getting them shipped here. And shipping was free, but of course there's little taxes and stuff. There's also, it's like a $218, I think it was like $230 to get shipped to my door, free shipping. I got Prime, but that's still not bad for drilled and slotted rotors and the same pads with the little guide pin for the caliper with the new bushings or new rubber boot, whatever you want to call it. It's got new grease and everything in it, so it's fresh, ready to go. I recommend that if you are looking for sporty, that's the way to go. Or if you just want some better quality braking, that's definitely a way to go. That's what I done on my 2016 Ram, all the way around, drilled and slotted rotors. I will be upgrading soon to wheel woods, but that's a big chunk of money. Anyways, comment down below, comment your thoughts, what you think I could have done better. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I do this solely to amusement for myself, and that way I know. Sometimes you can't trust shops. I've hear too many stories about people getting scammed out of what they're hoping to get done, and quite frankly, if I know, I put my eyes on it, I know it's good. Sometimes you got to take the word of someone else's. Me, I don't like to take the word, especially when it comes to brakes and stuff like that. That's the safety of my family. Granted, they would be liable if something happened, but at the same time, it's peace of mind for me. I've only ever had one incident where a caliper bracket bolt came out, and I did torque it, that I remember. My dad says otherwise, and the caliper the bolt ended up just disappearing. I don't know how, but the caliper ended up being pinched into the wheel, and it was just not fun. Luckily, I was able to get it off the road that night. But other than that, I never had an incident where brakes were just bad. I've had bad rotors. They're just warped. I actually just done the fronts on my truck a couple months ago. The rotors were so warped on the inside. No, pads were great, just the rotors were so warped. These trucks, obviously, that's a whole nother spill. But drop your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more content on vehicle stuff, like this truck right here. We'll have more stuff on it sooner than later. There's a lot of stuff I gotta get worked out on this before I can do anything. Gotta order some parts, but right now I'm kind of on a grind. So that being said, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.